We usually treat the story of Joseph as a sanitized children's fable. Read the actual text of Genesis 37, and you find a psychological thriller about a deeply toxic family. At the center is Jacob, a patriarch with 12 sons, who blatantly directs his affection toward a single 17-year-old named Joseph. That famous coat of many colors is actually a political declaration. By giving it to Joseph, Jacob is signaling his intent to bypass his older sons and hand the firstborn inheritance directly to the youngest. Jacob learned this behavior directly from his own parents, Isaac and Rebekah, who each played favorites with him and his twin brother. Jacob built his own legacy by deceiving his blind father to steal his older brother's blessing. He normalized betrayal within the household. When you stack decades of manipulation on top of blatant favoritism, you create a psychological powder keg. All it needs is a spark. Joseph provides that spark by sharing two prophetic dreams. In one, he is harvesting grain. In the other, he is looking at the night sky. As this diagram shows, the imagery is blunt. 11 sheaves of grain bow to one central sheaf. Then the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bow to that exact same figure. The math is simple. The 11 symbols represent his brothers, and the posture means Joseph expects absolute authority over the entire clan. His brothers hear this and immediately reject the hierarchy. The jealousy boils over into a violent hatred. A divine calling often acts as an accelerant. It provokes intense hostility from anyone desperate to protect their human status. Sometime later, Jacob makes a fatal miscalculation. He sends Joseph alone into this rugged terrain near Shechem to check on his older brothers, far away from any parental protection. The brothers spot him in the distance. Before he even arrives, they conspire to execute the dreamer and bury his prophecies with him in the dart. Reuben, the oldest, attempts a half measure. He convinces them to throw Joseph into a dry desert cistern instead of shedding his blood, secretly hoping to rescue him later. But Judah steps in with a cold economic alternative. He points out there is no profit in leaving their brother to die in a hole when they could monetize him instead. A caravan of Ishmaelite traders happens to pass by, and the brothers sell Joseph into slavery for 20 pieces of silver. In a moral crisis, weak passivity and cold pragmatism yield the exact same result. Both are complicit in destroying a human life. With Joseph gone, the brothers still have to explain his disappearance to their father. They center their alibi around his prized political robe. They slaughter a young goat, soak the fabric in its blood, and carry it back to Jacob as proof of a fatal wild animal attack. Look closely at the text here. Decades earlier, Jacob secured his own power by wrapping his arms in the slaughtered skin of a goat to deceive his blind, aging father. Now Jacob is standing in his father's shoes, utterly deceived by his own sons, who weaponize the blood of the exact same animal against him. It is devastating poetic justice. The specific sin Jacob used to build his life has returned in the hands of his children to dismantle him. Jacob collapses into profound grief, tearing his clothes and refusing any comfort. He is fully trapped in a prison built from his own generational dysfunction. Meanwhile, Joseph is stripped of his royal coat, his status, and his identity. He is dragged away in chains toward a foreign empire. He enters Egypt, an intimidating superpower of massive scale. Against the weight of this empire, his teenage prophecies of authority appear permanently extinguished. His brothers walk away fully convinced that their betrayal has successfully assassinated Joseph's destiny. Yet the narrative reveals a massive reversal. This vicious act of human trafficking is the exact mechanical sequence required to place Joseph inside the Egyptian government, where he will eventually save the known world from a devastating famine. The brothers tried to derail a divine calling, but their violence actually served as the vehicle to set it into motion. Generational trauma and violent jealousy cause real, profound destruction, but they are never powerful enough to override a sovereign plan.